Hello. Our next machine that we are going to be learning how to use is the portable router. The portable router can do lots of different designs on the outside or inside profile edges of your projects that you are building. One of the things to always remember about a router is the very first thing is there is a switch right here. And this switch you want to always make sure is in the off position. Now that you have made sure that that is in the off position, whenever the router is not in use, it is always on its side and it is always unplugged. You never plug the router in until you are ready to actually operate. So I know that the machine is off, it is lying on its side and it's unplugged. Don't get into the habit of doing this because it will either ruin the router bit or it is much easier to knock it off of the table and onto the floor. The next thing that you want to think of is how you are going to secure your material when you route it. You have a couple of ways. You can use a quick grip and you can take it, have it on the table, and you can clamp it. Or a much easier way to go about doing it is we have these black router mats. These are the same mats that your parents used when you were little and you were sitting in the high chair so that you weren't always sitting there with your chin on the high chair table eating your food so you wouldn't keep sliding. So I have this and it isn't going to go anywhere. Now when I route, I want to always think of it as outside edges and curves. I will move in a counterclockwise direction. Okay? The other thing that I want you to remember is when you are routing, that there will always be a wooden knob on the project and the other one will be out here. Don't get into the habit of going like this because it's much easier to tip your router. If you were set like this and you have the pressure on this hand, now it's much easier for me to just go around and to route my piece of wood. So now I have my router bit chosen. I have the height of my base set up. I have it secured onto my table. So now, making sure that I have my safety glasses on, I can plug my machine in. And then I can now go through and route my project. So one of the things that I need to do is bend over and look, make sure that the router bit is not touching the wood. There is a bearing on the bottom portion of the router bit that will ride along the edge of the piece of wood as you are routing. And so now I am going to take it, make sure that it is not touching, and then I will turn it on. And then when I hit my corner, I will turn. When I want to stop, I will pull it away from my material, turn it off, allow it to come to a complete dead stop with the machine away from my material. It is now stopped. I will lie it on its side, rotate it, and now I can do the other half of my routing. And so now I will go back, start where I have already begun my routing, make sure that I'm not touching again, turn it on. When you are all done, make sure that you keep it away from the wood as it stops, and then that will stop any burn marks. Remember to lie it on its side. Since I have completed my process, I will now take and unplug it. And one last thing to always remember about a router is never allow it to come in contact with these metal bench vices, because if that router bit touches the bench vise, that metal object, it will be like shrapnel and the bit will explode at 25,000 RPMs because that is the rate at which this turns. And if you use your portable router like this, it will be a safe and accurate operation.